Welcome to my channel, The Realm in Thinking. I'm glad you tuned in again. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, feel free to click on subscribe. Hegel's systematic approach in the Phenomenology begins with the spiritual labor process. For him, truth lies not in the result, but in the entire process. Hegel correctly describes the essence of spiritual labor, not only as force, but also as its execution and result. This whole becomes fully what it truly is only at the end. Hegel calls this the absolute or spirit, whose nature consists in developing and actualizing itself. He illustrates this with the example of a newborn. A baby is by nature already a human being, but it is not yet for itself a human being. That is, not yet a developed, rational being. The human being is the pedagogical product of its own material as well as theoretical labor. For Hegel, spirit is a specifically modern concept that describes not only subjective or individual spiritual labor power, but the entire spiritual labor power that constitutes the essence of the world. It is the sum of all truths produced in the world and also contains the potential for all future tasks yet to be accomplished. The result of the phenomenology is a consciousness that has itself as the object of its reflection. This is spirit, which creates its own content, and simultaneously is that to which it refers. It reflects itself in its own existence. Hegel calls this pure knowing, which marks the beginning of the science of logic, where thought thinks itself, and the categories of understanding liquefy. This is consciousness that has itself as the object of its reflection. This consciousness is certain that the objective phenomenal world no longer stands opposed to it, but that its spiritual content is generated by consciousness itself, so that the entirety of actuality is suffused with spirit. The objective reality that exists outside and independently of our consciousness is thus resolved by Hegel in this process of knowing by making it collapse into consciousness. Knowledge and truth in consciousness are something for itself, distinguishing something from itself to which it simultaneously relates. The phenomenology of spirit is the history of the education of consciousness towards science. Hegel considers science as the result of the history of the education of human consciousness, not merely in the usual way where education is the result of science. This establishes a double transition between theoretical and pedagogical production. Education transitions into science, and science transitions into education. For Hegel, absolute knowing exists in the strictly systematic production derived from the concept, in a scientific system that differs from empirical or merely investigative science. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed what you saw and found value in our content, we would greatly appreciate it if you could give us a thumbs up.